Hello and welcome back to Infinite Roleplay. I am Nelson, and once again, I'm taking up the very humble mantle of your Player Slayer today. Today we'll be playing Curse of the Birdman. Now, what you see before you in this scene is the actual Griffon Peak Mountains. It's towards the top of the mountain. The cloud cover is thick, and the clouds are growing dark. You can see the light of lightning flashing from within them. The sun is setting, but the light is dim. Shadows are falling across the peak. You see the forest on a small plateau beneath the peak. A little bit of a clearing, and 4 Aaricokra running to the clearing. As they get there, in a panic, they take off. Flying into the air, trying to get away, you can see trees falling left, right, one after the other. Until finally, from beneath the canopy of trees, bursts this massive creature. It is a Manticore, an old and ancient Manticore, larger than any Aaricokra has ever seen or heard of. Even the myths have never spoken of one of this size. It has large leathery wings, horns upon its head. They jut forward, raise before sweeping back. The thorns and spines and spikes that usually come from a Manticore's body, each are replaced with horns. Its body decorated in what looks like scales, but more like chitinous plating. Its tail, not like most Manticore's tails, it doesn't end in a ball full of spikes, spearheads. It ends in a scorpion's tail. A large hook protruding from it, poised to strike. It's chasing its meals, its prey, the Aaricokra. And then we flash back. Just as these 4 Aaricokra, some young, some not so young, were brought together to investigate an issue. These are troubling times, you see. They received a report from 4 younger Aaricokra, corroborated by a young Griffon, that after hundreds of years there's possibly the rise of the Manticores, thought to be extinct from the Griffon's Peak. But no evidence was brought back. Nothing but their words, and their words aren't good enough. They found 4 more Aaricokra to investigate the issue, to find out the truth. And if it's true that Manticores have returned, they are to bring back proof. And I'll let my players introduce themselves, plug any channels or anything online that they're doing, and feel free to describe your characters in any way, shape, or form you'd like. Let's start with Patrick.
As he said, my name is Patrick. I run Third Person Nerds and Third Person Nerd Radio. Search for us on Facebook or Google. But anyways, today I'll be playing Aka, A-K-K-A. And Aka's, a young, whippersnapper of an Aaricokra. He's 11 years old. He basically spends all day just guarding by the plateau where the horses are at. And he really, in his conceit, thought he had a better perception than he did, and he really hasn't been able to catch anything, and he feels like responsible for some of the events, so he signed up to be part of this party. But to describe him a bit, Aka's got red feathers all around, and he's got yellow eyes. He's wearing some leather armor, and the only weapon that he's bringing into battle is his longbow.
And Luke.
If my computer could cooperate with me, that'd be wonderful. I am playing Turok. Turok is a sorcerer. He's a soldier. He's been through a lot of battles, and he's seen some really horrible stuff. Unlike other Aaricokra, he's got The top part of his beak is gone from the front forward. It's halfway gone at the top. So he only has the bottom part and the top part. He is very dark, very somber. He doesn't like talking to these younger younglings who haven't seen what he's seen, and news of Manticores is not anything he ever wants to think about. Oh, I will plug me one little time. I'm Luke Gallagher, and I am eventually having a channel on YouTube where I portray Ernest Hemingway and answer people's questions. That's awesome.
All right, cool. If you're there, Mr. Prawl.
Yes, today I will be playing Golden Claw, and he is a rather large Aaricokra, brown feathers, golden eyes. He wields a giant hammer, and he just kind of likes to fly around most days. You know, just kind of just fly and chill. He's not too keen to fighting, but when there's a fight to be had, he's the last person to leave his friends behind.
And last but definitely not least, Mr. Knapp.
Hey guys, Andrew Knapp here. I go by SR2 Joker on YouTube. Check it out. Check out the OSG if you're not watching this from there. It's an awesome group. Play lots of games. Bow. For today's game, I am playing Onyxbeak. Onyxbeak is a great weapon fighting battle master. That is a charlatan. Let me explain. Nearly 20 years ago, as an egg hatched, this decrepit, malformed black Aaricokra weaseled its way out and laid in its ectoplasmic ooze, just swinging back and forth in the nest. The parents upset because in this society, an omen like a black Aaricokra is only met with one thing: being cast out from the peak into the Golgotha, where it will be left to die. So as the lightning crashed and the rain came down, they crept out in the night. Walking over onto the edge, the fog reached out like a hand, almost stopping them. But what you gonna do? It's a black Aaricokra, so they tossed it. It squawked and fell, and they thought it was done. Only Onyxbeak did not die. Onyxbeak grew up. Onyxbeak became strong. He got the Aaricokran history and read through it, and he learned of a legend where this entity named Onyxbeak had made a deal with the old Aaricokra that to stop the earthquakes that would take them from the mountain, he would solve their problems, but 1,000 years to the date he would show back up and demand that the Aaricokran give them the eggs of their firstborn. So he assumed the name Onyxbeak, though he had no name from his parents. In the modern times, a nasty storm rode in, exactly 1,000 years from the day Onyxbeak had read from the book. You could hear the thunder clash and lightning strike, and as it left its impact on the mountain, this entity appeared, Onyxbeak, swirling around, black feathers flying off. And he declared out to the poor people, the lowly birdmen, the birdmen enslaved by the Griffons, "I am here for the eggs." Only there were no eggs on that day. What Onyxbeak didn't realize was the Aaricokra had been basically regulated to the status of slaves and had no real power to do anything at all, and the Griffons were fairly smart. So, being shown to be a fraud, he has now assumed his place in Aaricokran society and is trying to regain some semblance of a life, though he has been disgraced the life he's known. So that's where we find ourselves today.
Wonderful. Yes, well, each and every one of you, for whatever reasons, were chosen for this. Some of you for your experience, some of you for your guilt, some of you because if the Manticores have returned, they don't want to see you return. But for whatever reason it may be, you have all been handpicked, chosen to investigate the matter. The young griffin who bore witness to these manticores leads you to the edge of the tree line where the forest has been pushed back to. Now, at this forest's edge, there is no work done. They clear the fields. They ensure that there is enough of a prairie for the farms, for the horses they farm. But as soon as the forest begins, there is no clearing. There is no preparation. It's just prairie and deep, dense, dark forest. He leads you there to the forest edge, but he will not get any closer. He stays at least 30 paces from that forest's edge and refuses to go any further. So, you guys go into the forest, to the darkness. By this day, it's more or less early morning, just before midday, when you enter in. The forest is dim. You know, the trees in this forest are old, tall, and their canopies are huge, blocking out most of the sunlight almost all day long. Not much vegetation grows on the forest bed because the trees soak up almost every ounce of light that they can. A few rays of sunlight bleed through. And as you're walking in the forest, you know, you go deeper and deeper, not sure exactly where to go since you don't have a guide, and what you did have as what you thought was your guide refused to get any closer than 30 paces to the edge. You knew, you know, he was terrified, almost like he was about to cry or faint even from fear. So you travel deeper and deeper, and the forest gets denser and denser. What little rays of light you saw peeking through the canopy become increasingly sparse. It's almost as if this were sunset rather than sunrise or midday. Once you get that deep into the forest, you start to hear laughter, chuckling, surrounding you, almost everywhere. And then what seems to be a clearing, where the trees grow slightly further away, there sits a small cat. Now, the cat looks like a mountain lion, but it's too small to be a mountain lion. And at this altitude, it's way too high up. And it's sitting there, staring at you, tilting its head one way and then the other. What would you gentlemen like to do?
Golden Claw hates cats, so he would run to attack it immediately. Immediately, right at the sight of a cat, he would just fly over with his maul overhead and try to smash it in the face. Fuck you, cat!
Flight in the forest this dense is
He would run.
impossible. You know, the trees grow about 3 to 5 feet away from each other, almost engulfing each other. So your wingspan easily of 6-7 feet is a bit too much to fly.
Okay. I would start running.
You would start running?
I would start running.
All right. Just as you
Straight
get
for the-
close, just as full out, flat out.
Yeah,
Okay.
just booking it to
What
try to
about the
kill
rest
this
of you
cat.
gentlemen? What decisions do the rest of you gentlemen make?
I'll notch an arrow, but I'll just try to, while he's rushing in, I'm sure he can take care of the cat. I'm going to just look around and try to make sure that's the only thing surrounding us.
Anybody else? Tarak? Onyxbeak?
Sorry, I thought Spacebar was gonna mute my mic. Yeah, man. I'm impressed with Golden Claw's moxie. I'm right with him.
All right. What about Tarak? Is he there or no? I don't think he's there. So Onyx Beak and Golden Claw. If you gentlemen would like to roll me an unmodified d20, and if you roll 11 or higher, you guys would be good.
6.
All right. Mr. Prawl, Golden Claw.
Yeah,
Roll me an unmodified d20. Let me know what you get.
7.
A 6 and a 7. Almost hatched from the same brood, it seems. The brood run at this cat. Right? And the two of you, hold on. Tarak, you there? If you're there and want to talk, you're muted.
Sorry, I had to answer the phone, guys.
All right. So, you saw before you. Did you see hear what I said? A small cat looking like a mountain lion, but way too small to be one.
Hmm? And I heard someone attacked it.
Yeah. Before we resolve that, I want to know what you're doing.
Not attacking the cat.
So you're just standing around going, "Hey." That's fine.
I'm watching these younglings like I've seen cats before. Cats are nothing compared to what I've seen.
All right. So the two Aaricokra that, charge headlong at this cat. You guys each take 6 points of bludgeoning damage as you guys disappear. Right? Both
Awesome.
Thorak and Akka, you see these two completely disappear. They wink out of existence. But Golden Claw and Onyx Beak, you guys literally ran headlong into two different trees.
Ouch.
Yeah, completely unexpected, literally out of nowhere. You just smack into a tree, each of you.
Awesome. Love it.
And the two of you can hear, louder than any other, laughing.
Oh, God damn it.
Silly Aaricokra.
They can hear that, or me? And,
No, those two.
Okay.
Onyx Beak and Golden Claw. The two of you outside of whatever's happening have heard laughter periodically. Surrounding you, coming from all different places.
Stay sharp there, Half-Beak. We might have to fight soon.
So it seems.
Well, I'm gonna get up.
We should
Like I'm.
go ahead.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, we should get the back-to-back, and me and the old man should, literally keep all eyes. We don't know what happened. I didn't see what happened. Those two just disappeared.
And Onyx Beak, what were you about to say?
Oh, okay. So I get up and I'm gonna peck around kind of like a chicken, trying to feel what's in front of me. So you actually see my beak like a woodpecker hitting the tree, and I'm just like, what kind of sorcery is this?
Yeah, you can. At this point, you can actually see the tree, though.
Oh, I believe it's a tree, but I believe something obscured my vision because I'm pretty perceptive as a fucking bird.
Yeah. Is Golden Claw doing anything?
You see Golden Claw, his beak got stuck into the tree, and he's just kind of trying to push his head out of this tree as it's stuck at the moment. Kind of frazzled, not knowing what the hell just happened.
Yeah, and as it's happening, both Tarak and Akka outside, seeing your compatriots disappear, you're starting to see what looked to be like the tree line was clearing a bit. It starts to fade away, and more trees are fading into view. as apparently an illusion was obscuring your vision, and the cat that you saw just staring at you completely disappears. You can see Onyx Beak on one side pecking away at a tree, and Golden Claw has apparently impaled his beak in another, and he's trying to get loose.
Ah, there they are. I don't know what they're doing, but there they are. Come on. Come on, old man.
What? Oh, fine. I'll go with you.
And
Yeah.
so when we show up, what are you guys doing? What is your beak doing in the tree? Come on, get on your feet.
So while he's kind of trying the other guy, I'm still pecking away at this, and now I'm actually flapping my feathers, squawking.
I'm gonna be like, I don't know, what the happen?
Yeah. Somehow in this insanity, Akka, you can your hyper perceptive nature is just telling you that you feel a presence somewhere behind you. If you look, if you don't, doesn't matter.
I turn like on a 180 with my bow, and I just aim. Even if it's a friendly, that's just my default turning behavior. So
Yeah. You see a cat, again, a small cat, looking maybe as if it was descended from a cougar, a mountain lion, sitting in front of a tree, licking its paw.
I had a dream last night of this, and it went wrong. I hit the cat, and it was actually a person. But just in case, I will actually aim and shoot at this cat.
Go ahead, roll it.
Hopefully, it's not a person. You never know.
You could roll with advantage if you want. I mean, it's.
Well, on the first roll, I got 21. So.
All right. So yeah, your arrow flies, and thook, you can hear your arrow hit something really hard, and it hit the cat, but it disappears, and then the cat looks at you, tilts its head, looks down at the floor, shakes its head, and then goes back to licking its paw. And as it does so, it fades, and as it fades away, you see a tree appear where the cat was.
Oh.
And then you guys hear all around you again the cackling. Aaricokra! That's what they said.
Well, now I'm going to start bobbing my head back and forth. I'm going to walk around the tree to make sure it's physically there.
Okay.
Do you able to like hear the direction that this cackling is coming from, or does he even hear it yet?
No. At this point, all of you hear the cackling and the chatting, but now it seems like chatting going back and forth, coming from all sorts of areas around you.
Could I tell if it was like above me or below me?
Above you, not with your passive perception, you can't.
All right. I would just kind of walk around the tree as well, just very paranoid, looking everywhere about, looking for another cat as well.
So again, just sparsely throughout the trees, cackling from every direction. And watching your allies both circle their individual trees, you start seeing just fire erupt behind them. And of course, the two of you circling your trees feel the heat of flames as they erupt behind you guys.
Oh, well, I start fanning my backside then with my feathers, and I jump up and start trying to climb the tree.
And Akka has, worked at being able to climb second story work and stuff like that. So he starts climbing really fast and, following his example.
The rest of you?
Trek,
Come on, Halfbeak, get up here.
you worry about yourself. I can handle this flame. And Tarak will look at his hands and be like, and try to shoot a ray of frost at the flames.
All right. And what is Golden Claw doing? Golden Claw is wondering what's going on, apparently.
I think his,
Yes,
I think his,
he is looking around, wondering what is going on, following his adventures, and still paranoidly looking about, seeing where this cackling is coming from. Utterly confused at this point.
Yeah, it's coming from almost everywhere, but Onyxbeak, again, you see Onyxbeak completely disappear as he climbs up a tree.
It's the climbing is actually pretty comical too. Like I'm gripping it with my hands and then pecking above myself and pulling myself up with my head.
So the first thing to disappear is his head, and then his upper torso, and then all you see is his little taloned feet, and then they go up and they disappear. Literally, you don't even see him up the tree. He disappears just before the start of the canopy. And Onyxbeak, as you do that, when you climb up the tree, you can see sitting on the branches of the tree, three small. They look almost the size of that cat, but instead of being a short-haired mountain lion, they all seem to have manes, and they all have tiny little spines growing out of their manes and their bodies, and they all have sets of small, tiny bat-like wings. And as you climb up the tree, they all look at you quizzically.
Onyxbeak, in between the pecks like a woodpecker, looks up at him and kind of like barks out. "Macaw! I have got you now."
Anybody else react to him disappearing?
I'm still trying to climb up the tree, so I don't know if I would probably keep climbing, so I don't know if eventually I would see where he's at.
Just climb up the tree.
Yeah, so in response to Onyxbeak has you now, you see there's several of these small cats, and as they all turn to you, they all bare their teeth, and they seem to have a few rows. Not many rows, more like 2 or 3 rows of teeth. As they part their lips, and as their teeth separate, you see them all stick their tongues out at you and go, "Nyeh." And they jump up and start, flapping their small wings to carry their small forms aloft.
Are they within range for me to swing a sword at one of them?
Yeah, sure. Draw a sword and try to swing at one of them.
I'm going to peck my beak into the tree trunk to hold me, and then I'm going to pull the greatsword, just try to swing on the side while my head's stuck in it.
Alright, you know what? Roll with disadvantage.
Alright, as a bonus action, I'm using feigning attack to give me advantage, so it's a normal roll.
Alright, sure.
Come on, baby. It's going to be... I believe that's a 19 versus AC.
What? Yeah, I think that's a hit.
So I add my superiority dice to it.
Yeah, just describe how you kill one of them.
11, 12,
I already know
16,
this.
16 damage, Nelson.
Yeah, just describe how you kill one of these small, pathetic manticores.
So you hear this loud clunk as my beak just sinks into it, and you hear this like growling sound coming from a bird, which is weird. And they fly away, sticking out their tongues, and as the closest one tongue sticks out, the one next to it sees the point of a greatsword impale through its mouth and stick out the back of the head and turn it into a red cloud of blood.
And as this happens, the ones that did manage to go away, they hear this, and then the psh of the blood going everywhere into a mist. They all turn around, flapping their small little wings. They're small enough to get through this dense forest with flight, and you can see them. Their eyes just widen, and they go, "Sister!" Ah! And you hear the screaming, "Ah!" as the illusion of the canopy begins to fade away, and you see Onyx Beak with his beak firmly pecked into the wood, swinging his great sword, his sword blade now covered in blood. And then whatever pieces were left after that swing falling to the ground, a small Manticore's body. And then what Onyx Beak sees is these Manticores, as they're screaming, "No!" You can see fire building up inside of their jaws behind all the rows of teeth. And they all seem to work together and manifest a pillar of flame right on top of you inside of this tree.
Ouch.
So yeah, you know, being that you're grappled with the tree with your beak, it's pecked into the tree supporting your weight, they're gonna have some fried Aaricokra. So wait, I wrote it down. How much damage is that? Yeah, take 7 points of fire damage.
Ouch. So you when I killed this thing, by the way, there's a little line of feathers on my back that stood up like a peacock's plume, kind of like flaunting in front of these bat bird creatures, showing them my dominance and my beauty. And now they all just got singed off by this fire attack, and I'm starting to smell like burnt chicken.
Yeah, as this sound of "No!" goes through, the rest of you that hadn't climbed up anything can see dozens of smaller creatures, all resembling the small mountain lion, with the key differences being that their bodies are covered in small spines, and they have bat-like wings, and their tails end in like tiny little maces. And they're all start flapping and flying away as they first jump off of their perches, which to you guys seem like they came out of nowhere. But as they do, you start seeing all these illusionary images end, and they're all just flocking away, flying deeper into the forest. What do you guys do?
At this point, where am I? Because I kept climbing. Am I at the top? Am I with these guys at the bottom here?
You could have gotten to the start of the canopy.
Okay, so I can't. I'm not here.
But you would have definitely heard all the commotion as they all began to fly away.
So I'm peeking my head up and I'm seeing Onyx Beak. Okay.
So Tarak didn't climb up, so he'd still be at the bottom.
Yeah.
So as the illusion goes away, Tarak just looks up at the tree. He's like, I did it! I proved my worth to you, young'uns!
Oh, God. Yeah, you know what, Tarak, roll me an athletics check.
No way, man. I just want to fall.
No, not you, Onyx Beak, Tarak.
Oh, Tarak, I gotcha.
As this swarm of small manticores flies by him, let's see if he gets knocked down by them.
Athletics?
Yeah. Oh, God.
19.
Yeah, no, you feel them beating off of your body, like running into you, but none of them, even in the swarm, it's not like they swarmed you specifically, but you can feel them hitting you as they pass. Yeah, Aaricokra suck. So, yeah, they all fly deeper into the forest, and the ones that ignited Onyx Beak start to fly away, and as they do, the pillar of flame turns off.
Alright, well, my burnt body detaches itself from the tree, and I start falling back towards the ground. And in my mind, I'm seeing myself being cast out again as a baby chick into the Golgotha, and I just scream out, "Mother, no!" as I'm falling. And right before I hit the ground, I buff my wings a couple times to stop from just completely smacking it.
All right, so your wings smack against the trees surrounding you. It's got splintery wings now. All right. So with that, like, after they leave and start getting far away, you could give chase if you want, but they'll disappear into the darkness of this forest very quickly if you don't try to catch up to them.
Well, I was at the top of the canopy. I finally got there and saw Onyx speak, and then he fell down. And so I started climbing down and yelling to the others, "We gotta give chase. We gotta go after these things. What are you guys waiting for?" And again, I probably have 2 on the ground flat. I'm not sure if they're stuck into the ground again. So.
Yeah, there's 2 of them. Well, now there's 3 of them on the ground as Onyx Beak has, slid from his
Perch. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't really call it a perch. He was more impaled on that. But yeah, so you guys start giving chase?
Yes.
All right, so you start chasing this swarm of small manticores, leaving that body that was almost obliterated, cut cleanly in half, just lying there on the floor. Onyx Beak apparently leaving a blood trail behind him. Unfortunately, though, this is like difficult terrain for you guys, and on foot you're not that fast. So you can see the swarm growing increasingly further away from you. And as that happens, the forest is growing increasingly darker. It can't be nighttime, but it almost feels like it is. There's a darkness to the trees, to the canopy, to everything. The little rays of light that usually shine through are all but gone at this moment. And then the forest grows quiet once again.
Well, fellas, we should stop. And anyways, I smell chicken and I'm getting hungry. So, and we're not going to catch up to these guys. So, what do you say?
I got away! And I just stop and start pecking again, kind of walking around a circle, kind of feeling out my campsite.
At the thought of losing and not being able to kill Cat, I kind of skulk about a bit and depressed walk around.
Turok is flaunting himself around like, yeah, I did it. I beat them all by myself.
I must have missed that. I did not see that. I saw our great Onyx Beak, climb and then fall. I must have missed all the excitement on the ground. Sorry. Tell us, old man, what did you do?
I single-handedly, with the mighty power that I have been bestowed upon, defeated the flames of darkness, and I can't remember the rest.
So, as you guys are talking, all but Turok at this point can hear this voice in the background saying, "Point out which one." And then another voice following going, "The black one, the black one."
So I let my feathers just kind of like strut out again and start pecking and flaunting it like a peacock as I'm walking around so they know who it was.
All right, so would you gentlemen roll me initiative?
Oh, wow. Super Dex, and I still get 7 initiative.
I got 11.
What was that?
An 11?
All right, so that's Tarak. Tarak got a 12, right? And what did Onyx Beat get? You
A
muted.
14.
A 14? Wow, almost. So, what you guys see as you're starting to go around, at this point, Tarak is surprised because he didn't hear the voices, but everyone else heard them, and your spider senses, I mean your Aaricokra senses tingled, but you didn't know where this was coming from, and it seems out of nothing. Steps forward another Manticore. This one is large, much, much larger than the small, little, pathetic Manticores that flew away from you. He's about twice the size of you guys, easily. The only difference to this Manticore is that he doesn't seem to have wings. He seems to have two large claws, almost like additional arms, protruding out from where his wings were, almost scorpion-like claws. And his tail is not a little mace tail like the others. It is covered in chitinous plating covered in spikes and ending in a large bulb tipped with a hook dripping poison. And he lunges from nothingness out at Onyx Beak. So, yeah, Onyx Beak, you're gonna get assaulted.
Alrighty then.
Ugh, that was terrible.
Oh man, with a 1, he probably stabs himself with his own poisonous pincer, right?
It might, but no. But I'll tell you what. He would actually hit you. So we'll say that he lunged out recklessly, and he doesn't hit anything. He starts those giant claws start snipping at you, trying to snip out your wings. And while he's trying to attack you in his anger, in his fury, he almost stabs his claws and actually deflects his own attacks from you. And just jumps up. But with that Onyx Beak, you get to respond.
Alright, so while he's flailing around at me, I'm just buffing my wings. I'm like, "You're just angry because you're an inferior being with no wings."
Oh, snap! All right.
So I land, and I'll go in for an attack. And once again, I am going to feigning attack, so I'm going to expend a superiority die. Gives me advantage. Attack 1. Oh, that's going to hit 25.
Oh yeah.
So attack 1 is going to do
Whoa, you got a 15 or what'd you roll? Oh, 18. That's right.
18.
So
8, 9, 13 damage. Now my second attack off of that attack action. Going to expend another superiority die for feign. That'll be a 20.
that hits.
Again. That'll be 9, 17, 21 points of damage.
Ooh, wow.
Then I action surge. And I use another superiority die. 24.
Yeah, that hits.
19 points of damage. And then with my last attack, I use my last superiority die and I feign attack again. 25 again.
Yeah, that hits. That hits.
So that's 7, 12. That'll be 16 points of damage. And I am tapped out.
Wow. Wow. So this thing apparently it wasn't his tail getting in his way. It was all these fainting attacks. And After every swing, it's more like stand still. And nope, he's dancing around this thing, just obliterating him, cutting deep into him every single time. Good God. And as you finish that just blinding flurry of vicious attacks, this Manticore is actually brought down to his knees for a minute before standing up, just gushing blood. Whatever fur he has is just dyed red from his own blood, and he's trying to shake it off.
I'm literally, during this like barrage of attacks, he just sees images of me floating in the shadows. Like he just slashes and it dissipates and I'm not there. Bam! Dissipates, I'm not there. Bam! I'm haunting him. He sees them floating around his head like in a cartoon when someone gets hit with a hammer or something and they're just seeing bells and shit. Like he doesn't even know what's going on, man. He thought the forest was full of shadows. It's full of me. That's what's up.
So, Golden Claw. This black Aaricokra, he's something fierce. Golden Claw, if you're talking, you're muted. Okay, well,
Alright, unmuted. Yeah, he is something fierce. I'm gonna run in there and back him up, I guess. Yeah.
I think you froze. Did he freeze for
What's
you
that?
guys?
Oh,
too?
sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Am I good?
Yeah, right now you are.
Alright, cool. Yeah, I'd like to back him up and go in there, attack him with my maul. Yeah. And that's a 21 to hit.
That hits.
Oh yeah. 9. It's 13 on the first one. Oh, and my extra attack is a critical failure.
Oh, okay.
13 damage on the first attack.
So I'm gonna ask you something. Do you want to cancel out that hit, or do you want me to narrate what the critical failure is?
DM's discretion. You can choose for me.
What's
What's
all
more
right.
funny to you?
All right. Well, it's gonna be more funny. Is we're gonna say, all right. I would like each of you, Onyx Beak and Golden Claw, to roll unmodified D20, and let me know what you get.
Uh-oh. A 2.
Golden Claw got a 6.
Okay, wow. Well, Onyx Beak, unfortunately, when Golden Claw comes in and crushes and kills your steel, you actually get struck by the tail.
So I balk out. As it hits me. What's it do?
We'll let Golden Claw narrate his kill first.
I run in, see this scrappy black Aaricokra try to take this kill, and I dash to it with my maul and just strike it right on the top of its head, trying to crush it like Gallagher.
Yeah, and that you do. You crush it like Gallagher, and the momentum of your swing actually kicks up the back half of his body, and as his body kicks up like that, the scorpion tail whips and strikes Onyx Beak right in the side, and I would like Onyx Beak to roll me a Constitution save.
Okay. What does... let's see here. Yeah. Okay, here we go. It's going to be...
Oh, God, not enough. I can guarantee that.
11.
Yeah, so, you take 29 points of total damage.
What?
You get pierced in the side. Being pierced in the side is not that bad. It's almost like a small dagger, piercing your side. But you can feel the poison as it's injected into your system, and it's atrocious. It is the most just vicious pain you could feel from something that was so unassuming at first. So basically, that 29 came from mostly from the poison.
Oh man.
Yeah, like it was serious. But
Well,
yeah, go
You
ahead.
actually, what you see from the poison man, like I start trying to do my little strut again, and I start vomiting, and you can see coming out of the vomit fish bones, like parts of half-digested fish, like parts of worm, like, as I'm going around the circle now trying to rub myself and do something with this poison.
Yeah, and as their elder brother was killed, you see again, but this time only 3 small ones jump from the shadow, from out of nowhere, just as the illusion begins to fade, and they're trying to fly away from you guys into the darkness of the forest. And they're
Well-
screaming. Yeah, and they're screaming as they do so. No!
Well, we have to take a look at Onyx Beak. He's looking like he's beat up pretty bad. Onyx Beak, are you okay?
Through the intermittent vomiting. He poisoned me with something! And I just flop over on my back.
Old man, is there anything we could do for him? He's poisoned, can't you see?
No, I'm afraid he's going to die.
Hmm.
Maybe it has poisoned you with the victory which you have brought us.
That's one way to look at it. Half Beak, yeah. So are we gonna continue without him, or? Hmm.
You just hear me like go, because I have this nasty taste in my mouth now. If you're going to abandon me, at least bring me some sticks, and some twigs, and some leaves, so I can nest.
And I'll actually go off and forage some sticks and some leaves to help him out.
All right. Is anybody else going to forage, or?
Tarak will look down at Iron Beak and say, "Well, I have not had much chance to use the skill since I was a youngling. I will attempt to heal you with my medicine."
I'll turn and watch expectantly.
That is an 8.
Yeah, I don't know about you healing anything.
Let's just say it worsens it. Like, how much damage should that do?
Let's say 2 points of damage as he's fiddling around, sort of tearing the wound slightly open.
He opens it.
I don't think it's working.
I'll go get those twigs and leaves. Yeah.
All right, so Akka, as you go off and you go a little bit away from your party and get some twigs, you hear a voice go, "Now!" And about a dozen shadowy forms just rise up around you.
Mysteriously behind you hear the sound of like bird droppings, and I notch like a stick with an arrowhead on it, and I pull out like a feather and I stick it in the stick, and I get ready for battle, and I just squawk as loud as I can so that they maybe can hear me, but I get ready for battle. Is there one that looks like a leader? Is there anything? The one that might have yelled now? Can I see that one?
You heard him, but you don't see him.
No. Well, I'll just loose an arrow into the whichever one is right in front of me. And
Yeah, it's one of the shadowy figures.
Oh, okay. I've got nothing to do. I will literally drop every stick and leaf I got and run back to the group then.
All right,
As
but you're
fast as I
surrounded.
can.
They
Surrounded.
surrounded
Nothing.
you. They're not upon you yet, but they rose up all around you. And there's about a dozen of them.
Any of the ones that are in my way to get back to my group, I will try as best I can to crash through them, duck underneath them, whatever I've got to do. Even if I've got to use acrobatics, or even if I just got to crash through them, see if they attack me.
All right. So
I'm scared.
Yeah. Run through them. They're blocking your way, so you got to crash through them. So roll me. Would be athletics. Your choice: athletics or acrobatics.
Good. Big difference between the two. So 10 plus 9, 19.
19. Okay, so you don't fall on your face. As you try to bull rush the figures, you literally pass through them with almost no resistance. Even though they look like they're preparing to block your way, you just fall right through them. But you manage to catch yourself and keep going. Unfortunately, you take some damage as your feathers begin to wilt. You take 18 points of necrotic damage and 7 points of strength damage.
And then when the party would probably see me next, most of my face is no longer red and it's dark and blackened, and you just see kind of like my yellow eyes beating out at you guys. You go, the shadowy figures are behind us. Run!
Yeah, and but by the time he says that, if you guys hazard a look to where he came, you see another black Aaricokra standing there holding a bunch of twigs and leaves and sort of nesting material. Just standing there, and it's tapping its foot, looking at you guys and then looking at the twigs and then looking at you guys and then looking at the twigs.
I swear it. Who are you?
And then it shifts, right? It shifts, leans on one, like pops its hip out and puts its other hand on its hip, and then it's just looking down, shaking its head no, like in just an enormous amount of disapproval.
I suppose I look crazy now, but this fellow wasn't there when I just ran past. And look at my feathers. Either he did that, or it was those creatures.
And you see, like as this is going on, you see a mountain lion come from where you came from. Two, in fact. They're not that big. They look more like mountain lion cubs, and then they sit one on either side of the black Aaricokra, and the Aaricokra, with its free hand, begins to look down and pet one of them. You guys doing anything?
At the sight of a cat, I'll charge. Gotta go for that character, man.
Okay, so what is everyone else doing? As you're starting to see Golden Claw begin to charge. As a matter of fact, it looks like Golden Claw is charging the black Aaricokra in the distance on its beak. So, just so you know that. What about the rest of you guys?
I don't trust this this second black Aaricokra. So, and I think it might have had something to do with all the damage I just took. So I turn around and I loose that arrow I had prepared for those shadowy creatures onto him. And
all right, so you're about to loose an arrow.
Yeah.
Tarak and Onyx Beak, what are you guys doing?
Well, you remember that movie, 13th Warrior, with Antonio Banderas? At the end when Beowulf like fights poisons. Well, I'm gonna be like, and I'm gonna get up while I'm still vomiting, and I take my claw and throw off this iron helmet I've been wearing, and you notice I have a brown beak, which is probably hilarious. I don't have an onyx beak at all. But I start fucking fumbling forward, swaying back and forth, dragging the sword as I make my way deliriously towards the opponents.
Okay. So, swing at the creature as it the other black feathered Aaricokra, seeing you two guys run after it and an arrow being loosed at it, it turns and its eyes widen in shock. Everyone roll your attack rolls. Let me know what you get.
Oh, I got a critical.
Do I get it? Yeah.
You had a critical fail?
Oh,
Critical hit.
critical hit. Me too.
Uh-oh. 16 and a 15.
So, good God. What about Golden Beak? I mean Golden Claw, Golden Beak. If you're talking, I can't hear you. All right. Well, with that arrow, first thing the arrow does is literally strike between the widened eyes, and as it does, it seems to sink about halfway through this black birdman's head before you hear a thunk as it hits something solid, and followed by Onyx Beak, who swung at it, and just as your blade would contact its side, you hear a chunk as it hits something incredibly solid, and then the bird turns to look at the two of you, and it's literally moving, right through everything, and it looks like it's laughing, and you hear as it begins to wave and fade away. And as it does so, behind what looked to be like the scene is actually a bunch of shadowy figures standing about 5 feet back. And they begin to charge forward. So everybody roll me initiative.
24.
Oh,
For
God.
Aka. Yeah. The big roll's
So
coming out that don't matter. Yeah.
Aka's probably going to go first.
26. 24, sorry.
Okay. So it's between Aka and Onyx Beak.
Tarak gets 18.
And Golden Claw gets nothing? Okay, I guess he's not there. We'll come back to him, though. So, as you see this image, as the first image bleeds away, your arrow that you had just shot is stuck firmly into a tree trunk of one of the trees reaching up. Onyx Beak, your sword just went, firmly into that same tree on the side, and standing about 5 feet back beyond that were just a slew of shadowy figures, and they begin to charge forward. But as they do, both Aka and Onyx Beak see this and react with blinding speed. So either of you can go first. Both of you go before these things do.
I'll be the slower of the two, probably because I'm poisoned and fucking wobbly, so.
All right, sure. Aka.
So, being that it's a dense forest, I find the nearest tree I can and I try to hide behind it with my bonus action. And I then take out a stick with an arrowhead on it, like I always do, pull out one of my lucky feathers, stick it in there, and I get ready to shoot my target. And let's see here. Did you want me to roll the hide first as well? No?
Well, Well, are you hiding first, or?
But yeah, I ran behind a tree and I hid. So it's up to you. And but my second shot from the advantage, if I was hidden, would be 18.
Yeah, sure, you can hit.
Okay. And I don't know if it's gonna hit anything this time, just like in my dream, but I'm gonna roll that and so 6, 10, 28 damage.
All right, so your arrow goes clean, clean like through the first one into the second one and the third one, of guys before they start parting. These shadowy forms. The first 3 of them just dissipate into shadowy tendrils and then disappear. And all you hear is just a massive amount of ah!
Good.
All right. So is that all, or?
That's his full turn. Bonus action movement. That's wild.
Okay, so Onyx Beak, you see this arrow fly through, and it literally flies through 3 of these things, and it would have kept going, but wait, how are all these people joining this? All right, so Onyx Beak, what are you doing?
I am going to flail wildly in my poisoned hallucinations. Be a 20 and a 26. The wrong link get posted somewhere, maybe?
No, I've got it as players only inside the event, so I'm just gonna have to delete it.
Oh, I should point out too, Nelson. I was just looking at the maneuvers, and I used feigning attack wrong. My other 3 feigning attacks should have been precision attacks.
Oh, that's all good.
It requires a bonus action, but precision attack adds the expertise dice to attack, so I think it would have worked out pretty similar.
It's fine.
Yeah, it still does the superiority dice's damage too.
Yeah, I don't mind that you completely annihilated that thing so quickly.
It probably would have still happened because my attack would have been like +12, but so it's a 20 and a 26.
Yeah, so roll your damage for both of them.
All right, so first attack 1 and a 3, I get to reroll the 1 from Great Weapon Fighter. So that's going to be 10 damage.
Okay.
The second one, I get to reroll the 2. Just take it, so 9 points of damage on the second one.
So 19 total?
Yup.
Yeah, you only managed to kill one of these things. So do you have the Great Weapon Master feat, or?
Nope, just the Great Weapon Fighter feat.
Okay, the Great Weapon Fighter style.
Fighting style.
Yeah, so you swing through, and it seems like almost to be no resistance at all. Like it swings perfectly through. If you were trying to swing your sword in water, is what it feels like once it contacts a shadowy creature. But you do cut clean through it, almost effortlessly, with both strikes. But the second strike, it just bursts into dozens of shadowy tendrils, and they all fade away into nothing. Yeah, so it's actually Torak's go. It's Torak's go, the Elder.
My thoughts are overwhelming. Anyway, not much I can do at the moment. Torak will look at these things, these shadowy figures, He'll be like, oh, what could I do here?
Well, while you're thinking about what to do... Oh, you know what you're going to do?
Yes, he's going to shoot an acid splash at one of the shadowy figures.
Okay. Do I roll or do you? No. Acid splash is you roll, right?
Yeah, I choose one creature within range or two creatures within range that are within 5 feet of each other. So he picks two of the shadowy figures.
Yeah, sure. You can attack two of the shadowy figures.
Um, Actually, it doesn't say it's an attack. It just says you have to make a dex saving throw or take damage.
Which one is this? Acid splash or poison spray?
Acid splash.
All right. I thought it was poison spray that does that, but all right. So yeah, only one of them actually fails to save.
All right, one sec. Nope. One sec. So that is 1d6, and they take 6 acid damage.
You're level 8 and you're only rolling 1d6, or was that from 2d6?
Oh, sorry. No, that'd be 2d6 because I'm.
Okay, that was only 1d6. So that's 6 from the first die.
Oh,
7?
7 in total.
All right. So, yeah. It's safe for half or safe for none?
Save for none.
All right. So, you do manage to splash one. One just, it loses its humanoid shape for a moment and then just warps out of the splash before warping back and reforming into a humanoid shape. But the other one, it does manage to get splashed, and the darkness becomes almost clear for a minute, and it almost looks like a Goliath, this form, before the clearness fades and it becomes dark and black once again. And it doesn't even make a sound. Like, it doesn't scream. It's just like. And with that, let me get a initiative roll from Golden Claw, if you're there. I hope you are. Initiative roll.
Yeah, 3.
Wow. Okay.
3. Big numbers.
So with that, there's about 9 of these figures left, and they just rush forward. Seeing how Onyx Beak is right there, 5 feet of no, not even 5 feet. He's engaged with them. So, 3 of them surround Onyx Beak. Because Golden Claw went up to smash a cat. 3 of them surround Golden Claw, and you guys are gonna get attacks of opportunity. Okay. Take your attacks of opportunity. 2 for Onyx Beak and 1 for Golden Claw, as they try to run past you to get to your allies behind you.
17 and 18.
17, they both hit.
First one does 12. Let's reroll one of those. Second one does 10.
You know what? You can describe it. You kill one of these things, so you can describe how you just faded into non-existence.
Alright, so I'm still stumbling around puking up fish bones, and I see what I think is like a hallucination or a visage of one of my parents carrying me to the Golgotha, and I slash really angrily, and you see it hit my blade and completely dissipate.
Alright, and Golden Claw. I just realized we did that wrong, but that's fine. You only have one reaction.
Yeah, I figured. Oh well, it was cool.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess one goes past Golden Claw. So one on each of you in the background. We'll do the 3 on Onyx because he's there.
Crap. Yeah, I did roll hits, but yeah, if I don't hit him, that's good.
Oh, the 17 definitely hits.
Yeah, the other ones literally. It looked like the other ones were set up for that hit because they just barely missed you. You know, just mere inches away from your beak, from your feathers. But one does land, and it does 9 points of necrotic damage. And where it slashes at you, you don't feel any impact, but you can feel your skin just, loosen and your feathers literally falling out as they die. Roll me a Constitution? No, you don't roll me anything. I just roll. Okay. And
By
you
the
take
way-
2 points of strength drain. Yeah?
Strength drain. Ouch. You see my feathers, like where the wound hits? It's like somebody hit a pinata full of feathers. You just hear a and see feathers cloud out all around my body.
Yep. And as they do that, they finish their move. And in finishing their move, their humanoid forms flatten into almost two-dimensional silhouettes. And they actually wrap themselves around you, hovering just, centimeters above you, but you're completely surrounded in darkness, from head to toe. And if you don't have dark vision, you actually can't see right now. So your world grows black. Now for the 3 on Golden Claw.
Awesome.
So 2 of them actually hit you.
All right.
So you take 18 points of necrotic damage, and where they strike, there's no impact, same as Onyx Beak, and your feathers literally wilt away. So you take 18 points of necrotic damage, and a total of 3 points of strength drain.
Okay.
And you said you rolled a hit for your attack of opportunity?
Yeah, I got a 24 and a 16.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was only one, but the 24 could hit. You can roll damage.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. That would I already did. It was a 23 overall
23 damage?
for 2 hits. For 1 hit, it would have
One hit.
been 12.
12?
Yeah.
All right. So it still manages to get back past you. So what you guys see as the 2 remaining ones run behind the front lines, coming at you, is that the 3 attacking Golden Claw do the same exact maneuver, and they finish their move by growing completely flat, almost two-dimensional, and then wrap themselves, completely engulfing Golden Claw. Now you can only see a black silhouette of Golden Claw, and Golden Claw, unless you somehow have dark vision, you're
Nope.
blinded right now. You're surrounded in darkness.
All right.
So the 2 of you, one attacks each of you as they engage. So Tarak, that's a hit. You take 9 points of necrotic damage and 3 points of strength drain.
So strength drain is how does it work again? It's
You take temporarily you lose 3 points of strength.
oh
If your strength gets down to 0, you die.
how much at 9? Okay. Rock is not pleased.
And then the attack on
Aka.
yeah, I'm waiting for it to pop up. Oh god, it goes to attack Aka, and as it does, it looks like it strikes you, but its arm, or its apparent arm, completely dissipates into black smoke and then blows away, and in some sort of wind. You don't feel the wind, but it blows away. And then it's standing there looking at where its arm was, and then reforms a new one. And then just looks you in the face and screams, "Ah!"
I would.
So
You
it's
know, if I could-
golden. Yeah, go ahead. You want to
No,
respond?
it's Golden Claw's turn. I thought it was my turn. Go ahead.
Mm-mm. Golden Claw.
My turn? Alright, cool.
Yeah, it's your turn. You've been attacked, and your world has been consumed by
Are you
blackness.
kidding me?
You can't. Yeah,
I
you're,
went
you're
to attack
effectively
and
blind.
rolled critical failure.
You rolled what?
I rolled a critical failure. I rolled a 1.
What are you attacking?
I
you
was
swinging?
going to attack. I'd be swinging wildly, I guess, because I'm blind, trying to
So-
hit whatever made me blind.
Swinging wildly. You see Golden Claw. Everyone who can sees Golden Claw swinging wildly at nothing, and as he's moving, it looks like he's being chased. His motions are being followed a fraction of a second, to catch up with him, so that he doesn't escape the blackness. But that's all you guys see. Golden Claw can see nothing. And with that, it's actually Aka's turn.
So there's still the one in front of me and Halfbeak here. So I didn't bring any melee weapons, so I'll use my claws and I'll just try to claw at it.
Okay.
And without taking any strength drain yet.
You have taken straight drain.
I have. A while ago, the strength damage, you said that was strength drain 7, I guess?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
And you rolled a 1.
And I rolled a 1 on top of
So, yeah. So with that, we'll just say that you fell to the floor, because I'm assuming the claw attacks they get are because their feet are talons.
that. Right.
So it's
Yeah.
like a little kick, and you tried to do a spinning kick and overspun it and just fell flat on your wings.
Looking a lot like our friend Golden Claw earlier.
So yeah, you can move, so you can spend the rest of your movement getting up.
I will spend the rest of the movement getting up and, just like trying to get my bow ready and thinking to myself, I will never do that again.
All right, Onyx Beak, your world has grown black and shadowy, and you can see nothing. And it's your go.
I crouch down ever so slightly, and I take my two-handed greatsword and just hold it like this, like I'm waiting. And I ready my action, and the moment I perceive any materialization of anything, I'm going to strike out at it.
Okay. So you're holding your action, Onyx Beak and Tarak. Your go. Tarak.
Indeed. Tarak is not pleased at all with having to take any damage whatsoever from anything. So Tarak wants to know possibly what the spell is. So would I be able to make an Arcana check to determine the type of spell that's being used?
You're able to do whatever you want. You just do it, and I'll let you know what the results are.
All right, I'm gonna make an Arcana check to figure this out. Oh, that'd be a 12.
Yeah, probably not.
Mm.
You don't recall anything at all.
Well,
You can deduce up until this point that maybe there was some usage of silent image or maybe minor illusions up until this point, but right now you don't know.
can I tell if it's magic or not?
What, the figures?
Yeah.
No, you can't.
Ah. Hmm. Well, assuming these things are real, Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to start using my sorcerer points. So I'm going to cast a fireball towards the. Uh, wait, wait. The three shadow figures that surrounding the guys, are they gone?
The three shadowy figures that were around your allies wrapped around them and became their silhouette.
Okay. Well, that changes things.
Tough decisions need to be made.
Yeah.
Well,
You're making decisions like a rookie. You know, I thought you were an old, venerable Aaricokra.
Oh, really now? Well, you younglings, I wish you luck.
Spit it out. Spit it out, Half-Beak.
Tarak will bring up his wing hands, and what strange, wild magic will start to spear out of his hands as he casts a fireball in the direction of the other two, hopefully hitting, whatever these shadowy figures were. But he's going to use his metamagic abilities to spend 2 sorcery points, so to target each of his allies, so that if they make a spell saving throw to avoid damage, they succeed. They'll succeed on their checks.
So they automatically succeed?
I believe that's how it works.
So we'll roll with that for now, since there was no way in hell they were going to even get a chance to roll. Since they don't know what's coming to them. But sure, they automatically succeed, so they'll take half of whatever damage you roll in your fireball.
Yeah. So, fireball is. I can't wait till people watch this later and they realize it's like 2 hours of the game and another hour of me figuring out how my spells work.
I like a man who knows when to hit an ally to save their lives.
Oh,
God.
So each creature in a 20-foot radius takes 8d6 fire damage.
Yeah, that sounds just about right. Roll it. Roll all 6s on 8d6.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Boop.
I don't see where it popped up, so you're going to have to...
Huge.
5 plus 6 is 11, plus 9 is 20, plus 12 is 32 damage.
32 damage. So
16 to my allies, I guess.
16 to your allies? Yes, your allies burn away for 16 points of damage. And as they burn away for 16 points of damage, the silhouettes that were them are gone. They are gone in a flash. The flash of that fireball apparently got rid of these dark silhouettes that were surrounding your allies. And all you see now are singed feathers, and maybe a few of them are still alight. But, yeah, you guys got burned.
Can I attack the nothingness because I was ready for movement?
Sure.
I'm not gonna roll the actual attack, so I'm gonna use a bonus action to second wind myself.
Hey, just as your sword hits the tree that was beside you, since it apparently came out of nowhere, and you were just ready for the first thing you saw, that's what you swing at. But yeah, you can second wind yourself.
Yeah, you just see wood chips flying, and then me go, Nyah! And you see like this magical energy wash over my body and start to patch my wounds.
Yeah. So with that, all that's left are 2 of these dark figures, one on each of your archer and sorcerer. And as Tarak went and threw that fireball, does he stay engaged right in front of this dark figure?
Oh, I forgot there was a guy next to me. Um, he is actually make a 5-foot step away. No, can he move backwards?
You could move wherever you'd like, but stuff happens.
Check for opportunities and things. Yes.
You just let me know
Yeah.
what you want to do, and I'll let you know what happens from it.
He's gonna move back to 25 feet as far as he can move back.
All right, so he runs back 25 feet, and the thing attacks him. He only got a 14 AC, so I believe that's a hit. Let me just double check. Oh God, yeah. Tarak runs, and it literally what would be the fingers of this thing, these shadowy tendrils, just barely miss you.
Oh.
Just by the slimmest of margins, manage to miss you as you run back 25 feet.
Looking at the wild magic thing, because I cast a spell that's higher than first level, I have to roll a d20, and if I roll a 1, I have to roll in the wild surge.
All right, go ahead.
Table.
Just do it. Just do it.
Okay.
And while you're looking to see what happens with that,
No!
all right, roll. See what happens on the wild magic table. Like, look, guys. I don't know why you're shaking your head. It wasn't like I made him do this. Okay.
Okay.
The ones.
Percentage die. It's a D100, so percentage
You don't
die
have to,
or
you don't have to tell me. Just tell me the results. That's all you got to worry about right now. Just let me know the results.
I'll use the first one. So it's a 37, which is 1d6 flumps controlled by the DM appear in unoccupied spaces within 60 feet of me and are frightened of me. They vanish in a minute.
You know what? They're frightened of the entire situation, and they just disperse as you're running away. They go off in all sorts of corners, glowing the way they do, and but the shadow uses its attack on you, so it doesn't get to react to the flumps. So the shadowy creature now, as you're running, you're 25 feet away. It seems to meld into the ground. It loses its form. It appears 10 feet. No, it appears 5 feet in front of you as it rises up from the ground, manifests into a figure again, and you can see the silhouette just shake its head as it's like, and then it steps 5 feet into you and swings at you. That's going to be a hit. So you take 9 points of necrotic damage. Your feathers wilt and fall away, and 3 points of strength drain as it does so. For Tarak, the one by you will swing at you. 17 hits Tarak? Yeah, that hits Tarak. Not Tarak. Akka, no. Yeah. It just misses you. It's +4. Okay. So it misses you with its attack, but as it's swinging and you slightly dodge its attack, it loses its humanoid form and continues almost in a liquid motion and then starts to wrap around you and shrink into a nearly two-dimensional form. And with that, its golden claws go. So, golden claw. If you're there, all you can see is that one of them almost melded, seemingly, with Akka, and the other one is behind Tarak, swinging at him, and you can see him like as every hit that they land on you guys. What? I'm
not blind anymore.
No, you're not blind anymore. You're just singed. You took 16 points of fire damage.
That's right. Hmm.
You don't know what you're gonna do?
See my friend engulfed in this darkness, right?
Yeah, he's not completely engulfed. Akka is only partially
You can see my hand sticking out. I'm screaming.
and you're in his head. He's not blinded, but
I'll try to run over there and just grab him and pull him out of it, I guess.
so go for it.
Yep. That is a 7.
If he voluntarily lets you pull him, you don't have to roll an opposed check. The shadow is actually not grabbing him. It's forming around him, but it's not actually touching him.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll just go over there and grab him and pull him out.
So do you let him pull you out?
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. So he goes over there, pulls you out, and as your body moves through the shadow, you take 9 points of necrotic damage, and you take 2 more points of strength drain.
I am dead.
You're dead, or you're down to 0.
-1 strength.
Oh wow, yeah, you're dead.
Says Golden
Oh,
Claw
wow.
reaches in there to save me. He's pulling me out, and in the process, I lose all my strength, and I sap, and I change, and I die right in his
Yeah.
head.
So what happens is that every last feather he had on his body wilted away, and you noticed that his form, his skin looked rotten, and now you begin to smell it. You didn't notice the smell before, but it smells like a rotten corpse. And he's like desiccated. He's emaciated, barely more than skin and bone, as you see his flesh underneath all these feathers, and he just collapses to the floor when you let him go. And then the shadow behind reforms into a humanoid form, and starts pointing at your dead ally and laughing. And you hear in the distance from where the shadows came.
Dicks.
So, I guess with that, it's not Akka's turn anymore, so we'll go straight to Onyx Beak.
Alright, so seeing Akka die, I just lose my shit. No, you fiend! And I start flapping and running at this shadowy figure, great sword above my head, and as I go to attack, I stop. And you see me start going... And I look over and see one of the flumps that was summoned from the wild magic. And my sword falls, and I put my head to the ground and start pecking and running after it, trying to eat it with my beak.
Fine, you can eat it. It's you catch it, you can consume it if you want.
Yeah, so I grab it, I throw it up in the air, and as it comes back down, just chewing it up, like parts of the tongue falling out of my mouth.
And when you do that, like when you just snap it as your beak's closed for the first time, you can feel the earth vibrate and move beneath your feet.
My guy starts shaking. Oh.
Yeah, and so can the rest of you that are still alive. You just feel this vibration. So yeah, Onyx Beak. Well, while you're munching on a flump, Tarak. Just a little ways away, your ally, you just saw all his feathers fall, and this almost undead-looking corpse was underneath them, and you have right behind you another of these shadowy forms.
Mm-hmm.
And you can feel the earth vibrating beneath your feet. You can feel it too. It's just like almost like an earthquake.
Onyx Beak, eating that front was basically the best avenge of my death I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Totally.
And while you're still deciding what to do, the forest seems to grow a slight bit darker. The clouds beyond the forest are beginning to form, blotting out the sun. What little light was penetrating is penetrating even less. And you can feel the forest vibrating, almost like the earth is shaking, like an earthquake is coming. Tarak, still waiting on you.
Tarak can feel the pain. He can feel himself withering, the bone and the muscle slowly going away. More so because he's old, but now even more so because he's taken a lot of damage. Tarak will look over the shoulder of the shadow figure and see his friends, or what he calls friends for the hour at least that she's known them. And look at the shadow figure and say, "If you are a physical creature, then I will do my ultimate form of magic!"
Okay.
And he will cast Polymorph on the shadow figure in front of him.
Okay.
Wait, do I have the Polymorph? Yes, I will do Polymorph.
And what do you polymorph him into?
I choose a shark.
Okay, so he polymorphs into a shark before you, right? He just does, and the shark is starting to flop around, like it's suffocating, and it's like, and then it falls limp, and then it starts pulsating as you hear, and then it reforms into a humanoid figure, and still laughing.
Gods damn you!
Are you doing anything else? The shadow also goes, as it's laughing, goes, "Run, the master comes."
Question. How much space is there between the canopy and where we are?
Vertical space?
Yeah.
It's about like 20, maybe 30 feet climb up. You can't fly up to the canopy because there's not enough room for you to flap your wings.
Well, there's only one other thing I could possibly do, and it fits, and it works. It's worked before, it can work again. I wish to intimidate the shadow.
Go ahead, try to. How do you propose to intimidate this shadow?
How am I dead and he's alive? But,
I have no idea. Because your allies didn't try to save you. That's why his allies ignored him. That's why he lives. But yeah, I don't understand. Tell me how you would try to intimidate a shadow that you just polymorphed, and then it laughs. It's laughing at you. How are you intimidating this thing? Obviously amused by you. As a matter of fact, you know what? Since you said intimidate, I'm gonna roll an intimidate check on you, because it looked you in the face and said, "Run, the master comes." Boom! I rolled an 18 on the die. Roll me a wisdom check, son.
God damn it! Do I get to do my intimidate check at the same time, or?
Roll. Wait. What did you get? This happened before you decided to intimidate it.
All right, fine. So, wisdom, I get a -1 on. So this should be wonderful.
So
look, it's a 12.
You are feared. You are afraid of this shadow. This shadow has instilled fear in your old bones. Apparently, in all of your years, your many, many Aaricokra years, and all the things that you have seen, all of your experiences, nothing was quite like this.
Hmm.
And you're literally moistening yourself in the most unpleasant of ways right now. So do you stand there shivering in fear, or do you try to run?
I think, based off his age, based off his history, which you know of but the other people do not know of, I only have one single question, which is my only option running away, or can I do another spell?
You don't have another action.
Okay. In which case,
You can run or you can stay. You can stay and fight, or you can choose to use your movement to run away. That's entirely up to you.
if I stay and fight, he might hit me again, which will kill me. And if I run away, he will follow me and attack me, which will kill me.
It's your choice. I mean, make it. You don't need 10 minutes to make a choice. Or do
Very
you?
true.
Or do you?
In response to the fear, Tarak will bow down to his new Shadow Overlord. Don't hurt me.
And it's just laughing. And it's the shadows go. And there were two shadows left, correct? The one that killed Akka and the one that's threatened Tarak. Again, you guys feel the shaking, this vibration, and you can start hearing the thunder billow overhead beyond the canopy. You then start seeing the trees themselves start to wilt. The leaves falling down dead, covering you guys. Then the leaves seem to part, and so do the trees, beginning to fall away. They're crumbling into dust. And as they crumble into dust and ash and just rotten material, this rotten material seems to reform into this giant beast, this huge manticore. Horns jutting forward, lifting up, then sweeping back. All of its spines seem to be replaced by horns. Its fur replaced by these scales that look like chitinous armor. Its tail doesn't end in spikes, but is actually that of a scorpion, and ending in this massive hooked spine dripping with poison. And that's the end of you guys. Calling back to the first scene of the game, you notice that the 4 Aaricokra flying into the sky as lightning strikes overhead. All of them are black. All of them are silhouettes. All of them are shadows. Then this giant creature breaking through the trees to these Aaricokra, followed by dozens of other shadows, all silhouettes of fallen Aaricokra. And that's the end of Curse of the Birdman. So,
Well, I peck at that thing when I see it, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I thought you were a piece of corn.
so yeah. You guys didn't look like you were getting out of that. But
And no, fuck that shit, Nelson. I'll climb that tree and fly away.
you got roll. Alright, you know what? To see if you can use Onyx Beak in any other Birdman games, roll me a deception check of some sort. Because you're black already.
Alright, let's see. Do you want stealth?
Whatever. Just roll something.
23.
You bitch.
No, nice.
No freaking way. Okay. All right. So we'll use that for next time. But until next time, this is Infinite Roleplay. I've been Nelson, and this is Curse of the Birdman. This thing that just happened here brought to you, set up by, via the Facebook RPG One Shot Group, tabletop RPG One Shot Group. Come visit us. We play games all the time, all varieties, serious, funny, D&D, Fate. If you don't see it being played, come in and run a game, and we'll come and play it. So, guys, if you have any internet things or YouTubes you want to plug, remind the people who you are and what you do.
Again, my name is
Just
Pat.
Him for taking us so much time today running 2 different games back to back. I know that takes a lot out of you. Thank you, bud.
Yeah, and good job, Nelson. Yeah, and then my name is Pat, and you can search for Third Person Nerd, and we do podcasts and all sorts of fun stuff. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun playing 2 games with you today, Nelson. It was awesome. And yeah, shout out to the One Shot Group, where I've been having lots of fun the last couple of weeks, just watching games and stuff. So.
Yeah, thanks for the game, Nelson. It was really fun. Thanks for putting up with our whack ass one-shot group. Onyx Beak for life. He's coming back. It's going to be another throwdown. He's going to be pecking up Flump, and he's going to be bringing storms. That's what's happening.
Yeah. Just so you guys know, keep an eye out. If you don't already know about SR2 Joker, check him out. We're about to kick his ass in the Astral Sea game. I guess they're gonna rock, hopefully.
That last game was awesome. Yeah.
But anyway, until next time, peace.